Okay, I got the drain stuff out. We need to cut the rest of this pipe out. And then this piece, we can reuse portions of it as opposed to, it's just extra, right? But at this point, we're committed. So we need enough space to be able to get this on. So we don't want this coupling where this brace is, because that's holding it up and maintaining the slope. So I want to cut right about where my thumb is. Looks like yeah, right there on that 9. So we'll cut there, we'll get that pipe out. Same thing on this wall. We want, we'll do it from below, but we need to be able to slide this in place and then over the pipe. So we'll cut the pipe flush with whatever the width of this is so we can get it in, and then we'll figure out how to, well, yeah, really what we ought to do is, because it's already there, we'll see, but we should do is cut that length off, glue this in place, and then just slide this pipe right over, glue it in, and then deal with the gap however we see fit. But maybe it won't work out that easy. We'll find out. Okay, so left here, I already glued the coupling from underneath. So all we have left is this to deal with and the drain. And by the time we get this on here, we'll get an angle, or we'll have to move with the trap a little bit, but it's variable, right? There's things we can do to just make it fit, right? Because I think instead of doing a 45 on the end of this into a 90 and then another 90, we'll try to make it one straight shot by just doing a diagonal hole through the wall once it's in place. Another thing to note is the one that I took out, the guy had it in like this. He had it level. It's wrong. It needs to be like that, right? So that's why it probably had a bunch of sludge in it. It was probably getting poop water going back up the pipe and then getting into the trap. So yeah, well, just a little bit of an angle. Let it come up at an angle, and then we'll deal with the rest once it's through the wall. Just one little piece at a time. Okay, it's getting there. Big pain in the butt to kind of get angles and stuff right now. I was a little aggressive on the slope here, I think. Didn't need to be that heavy, but I think it has a little more to do with me cutting. I could have cut the hole a little shallower. Would have alleviated that. But we got about an inch below here for sealing space. This is where the bottom of the drain is, so we'll have a little length of pipe going into this guy. This is dry fit and marked all the fittings, so I'll fit everything together with this last joint and then pop her into place. Yeah, in this part right here, so what matters is that the vent itself is above right here where this angle is. So that angle, when I measure across level, it's there. So our vent's above that water line. Otherwise, it can make a siphon and it'll pull all the water out of your trap, and then you get poop smells up into your shower. So we're high enough up with the vent, we don't need to worry about that. We have a great slope going down, so we won't get doo-doo feces back up into the trap. Yeah, it's looking good. So once this is all glued together, we'll let it sit for a little while, and then I'll pour. I'm not going to pour water in there. I'm going to look for some way to cap it. Even if I just got to put tape over it, that's fine. That'll be enough to keep the room from stinking overnight. So, yeah. Okay, so there's our new drain all glued together. This corner I don't like. I'm tempted, yeah. I think what I might do is grab another, I got plenty of pipe. And if I grab another new 45 in 2 couplings, right, then I can just cut the pipe back, redo that corner, because this was a cap. Like, it's not curing, right? I can see it moving. Like, the rest of this stuff is together and solid the way it's supposed to be. So we'll just redo it. If I cut the pipe here, 2 couplings, 45, it's going to be done and it'll be right. So that's what we'll do. We'll replace that so we don't have to worry about it. But for now, we can do other stuff before I go to the store and grab that crap. I'm not going to go to the store today. I'll do it on my way to or from work. Well, I'll do it on the way to work because of the hours. They won't be open when I come home. So, yep, I think I'll leave this be and do some car work in the afternoon. Okay, I went and picked up some trim, tile trim, and some edge pieces, well, corner pieces to go with it. So this edging will sit up against the board, right? And then you can see that there's enough space for some thin set behind the tile. You know, this can be a little higher, a little lower than the trim, and it's fine. It just makes sure we don't have this ugly edge with the paint and stuff on it. So, you know, these will come in like that, and it leaves a little bit of a gap for grout. This one's really chipped up. We'll cut it. Yeah, so we'll do this on this left wall, right? Because I want the tile to go to match the curb. I thought for a little bit, like, hey, I could use the door as a transition, right? So have a curb, and then, you know, we'll have this upright to hold the glass, and like that's a nice thick. Just have tile on one side and drywall on the other. But then you hit the above it, and it's like am I gonna try to find something that matches it, just like a black strip up by the ceiling? Like, no. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll tile all the way over, even with the curb, have our trim piece, and then our glass will be up against this tile and go to where it stops. I think it'll look better like that. And then this one will have the door trim will butt up against the tile. And I'm thinking we don't worry about the transition there. But then we're at the top of the door trim, we'll have a short strip of that edging. And then the niches will all have 4 corners of edging, and I got 8 total inside corner pieces for it. So it'll look really nice, but that's where they get you, man. Like these strips, like I'm $26 each for 8 feet of anodized aluminum. That's not bad, you know. It's aluminum, it's nice. But then these guys, the little corner pieces. Let's see, I opened one. Here, corner piece. This little dude, all it does is go in here, and it matches the profile, right, to make corners. This is $11.50 or $11.68, something like that. $11, and then like they'll kill you. They kill you. Yeah, I also grabbed 2 couplings and a 45 for the 1.5. We'll go ahead and fix up that little corner that didn't set. I don't know why it didn't set, but it. Okay, yeah, that's the right size. So yeah, plenty of spare tube. And this one, there, fingers. Yeah, so that joint where I got kind of ghetto didn't set. Kind of glad it didn't, because I want to clean that up and do it right. So, well, it's just the vent line, but if I ever got water in it and dripped, I would absolutely lose my mind. So we'll pull the floor up, get that in place, and then now that that drain's done, I can start bracing the floor below and start putting these in permanently. And we're getting to that point, so stuff's going to start to come together quick. It'd be nice to get the floor in today. What time is it? It's 11. An hour and 45 minutes. So we'll see how far I get. So I'm gonna shit my pants. Somebody didn't pay attention at the store. So there was a 60-degree elbow in the 45 bin, right? So yeah, see how the angle? Son of a bitch. So now I can't do a drain unless I go to the store, which is gonna take me 40 minutes to get there and back. So I'm gonna drain tomorrow. Son of a bitch. Now I need to get a cap on that. I think I have 1.5 caps. A cap or a piece of tape or something. Because this ain't coming apart. Right? This part. Well, wait a minute. That's the part that didn't glue. Oh, I don't want to try to glue this elbow again because it didn't glue right. So, yeah. It's frustrating. Okay, so I got some bracing up. I think I can go ahead and I can probably put the floor in. I want to put one more piece like here, right? And these won't be in the way if I do them flat like that. And really this area doesn't need it, right? Because it's going to be so thick. But I'd like to put another one in anyway, just to have something to screw the 2 pieces together with once the glue's in there. I don't want to end up with a bubble on the floor that I have to deal with. So I want to make sure there's enough space that we can put a piece down, screw it from the inside out, and get it nice and flat. Glue the next one on, screw it along these studs as well. So I'm marking off on the wall where these little rails I'm putting in our, and the real reason for them, the ones on this back, is that we don't have anything under here to support it, right? So there's, yeah, you need something here, right? Or else you have a huge span and it can wibble wobble around. Whereas on this side, we have this whole stud along that edge. So, well, 4 joist, not stud. So that'll do her. So like this span is fine because it's short. You know, that's not going to flex enough once the pan's on there to matter. Whereas this back span, if there's no support, it's screwed. So yeah, I'm going to put one more piece in, I think, right there, just because I want to. Well, you know, really, here would be better. If I do one here and don't worry about this, but this is near the drain. This is, I want to make sure there's plenty of structure around that. And then these in the back, there's nothing on the back side of them yet. So you can see that flat piece, it's horizontal down in there. That's so the drywall has something to screw in from below. So I'm going to cut pieces that will go in between that, because it's on top of that sill, up to underneath of that to support it, and screw those in place as well. So it's a process, but I want to make sure I'm not digging in here again. I did about 3/4 of a tube on the 4 joists and screwed this board down just in the center so it can move a little bit when we laminate the two together. Because really, you know, this is 4-ply 1/2 inch. We'll have 8-ply 1 inch when we're done. And all they do at the factory is glue them together. But they have a nice press that does it and makes it pretty and probably stronger. I don't know. But we'll be using the screws as a press. That'll squeeze it together. But I don't want all these little lumps. I just try to get it spread out. Because we don't want to end up having it sit, you know, 1/16 of an inch up and then have some air gaps. It would defeat the purpose. So I got my beat up drywall knife. I'm going to spread this glue out so it's even thickness before we set the other board on. And then we'll screw that one down from the center out with a lot more screws than we used on this one, because this one will actually pull the pieces together and then they'll dry up nice. So let's do that. Get a nice coat going. Okay, got glue spread out. There's no huge lumps anywhere except right there. So I'll poke that area over a little bit, maybe move it to this side some, get this piece on and screwed in. Okay, the floor's screwed down, so it's solid. Glue's not even dry. Now, right here, that's a little, I don't like that. Maybe I will, maybe I'll go underneath and add a piece. Because over here it's great. All this stuff's great. Like it feels really good when you walk on it. And that one spot where I was like, oh, that'll be fine. It's got some flex. It might not flex once the glue's dry, but right now that pipe's not in, so I can slip a piece in there from below and screw it into place just to kind of support that area of the floor more. And I think that's, we got to do it. I can't leave it like that or it'll go nuts. Added a piece horizontal there. I hope it makes the difference that I want. We'll have to go upstairs and see. Yeah, I mean, that's night and day. There's no movement in this floor at all walking on it. So by the time it gets that shower pan and a bunch of tile on top, I'm not worried at all about anything cracking or moving on us. So if anything, the rest of the bathroom will fall down. This will be the one thing snagged. You get a tornado